Welcome all of you on this channel named Gaurav Kumar Jain. So today we all are here for developing this beautiful doctor's appointment app. This is again going to be a real-time application which we are going to make on this code.org platform using the basic features of this Applab. Right, so this is the first screen user is going to come across. Now how I have designed this screen, that's what I would like to tell you first. So there is a background image which you can easily get from the Google Images. The only thing that you have to type over here is, see, this is Pro's image, right? So you can come on Google and if you'll type something like this, MediPro plus mobile login screen. Let's see what are the different things we are going to get as a result. Okay, so these are a couple of beautiful images you're going to come across. Now you guys can make use of any of these beautiful images for making your login screen. Right, and if you will type something like this, doctor's appointment online mobile sign up screen. Let's see what are we going to get with these keywords. So these are couple of beautiful images you are going to get as a result. So you can make use of this one also. It is also looking good, right? And if you'll come down, you will find some images like this. Okay, this is also a very beautiful image. Then there is this image which you guys can make use of for getting that profile of a user reflected on the mobile simulator, right? So that's how you can find this image. Now what all components I have defined on this screen, that's what I would like to tell you. So there is a photo select button which you can easily get from this design toolbox, which is there in the design panel of this lab. And then there are two input boxes which I've placed over this screen. So the ID of the first one is email and the ID of the second one is password. Then there is a button with ID sign up present on this beautiful screen. And also there is one label box which is not visible to you guys. Why? Just because I have eliminated everything which was there earlier in this text input box of this label box, right? So these are the components which I have defined on the screen. Now I am going to define the code for this login button over here. So if it is a doctor who would like to log into the admin panel, so what he can do, he can hit this label box, invisible label box you can say over here, the ID of which is doc, and when he will hit this login, this label box, I would like him to get redirected on this doctor's panel which is screen 3. So we guys can make use of this set screen block in order to make him go on this screen 3, right? And besides I would like to add some sound also to this uneven block so that so as to make it more interactive. I'm going to add something like, hi doc, hope you are doing good, welcome on the admin panel, welcome to the admin panel. So this is what the doctor is going to hear as soon as he will come on this beautiful screen. Now if suppose that person, the user, is a patient, okay, who want to book an appointment with this doctor who is using this app, so what he can do, he can put his email ID over here, password over here, and he can upload his pic with the help of this photo select button. After that he can hit this sign up button, and automatically I would like him to get redirected on this beautiful screen too, where he'll get to see a man working on the laptop. And I would like to see whatever uh, image he has uploaded. I would like to see that getting reflected over here on this image button, and his email ID getting reflected over here. So how can we design this thing? That's what we have to think about now. So first of all, I would like to define an uneven block for this sign up button over here. The idea of this button is sign up. Let's do one thing. Let's come on this design panel and copy the ID of this button. I'm going to place it over here. Now as soon as after entering the required information in all these three fields, when the user will hit this button, I would like him to get redirected on screen number 2, right, which is the users panel. And but before that, before he is redirected on screen 2, I would like the ID which he is going to mention over here should be reflected over here in this email named component. So for doing that, we guys can make use of this set text property. Where is that set text? I am finding set text. Yeah, this is the one. So I'm going to place it over here. Okay, now the ID of this component is let's check out the ID of this component. Just a second, let me change it to fill, or shall we make it cover? I think cover is fine. Yeah. Okay, now the ID of this component is label 6. Fine, it is label 6. Okay, so we would like to set the ID for label 6. I'm copying it from here and I'm going to paste it over here. Now from where can I get the value of this label 6? I can get it easily from this component which is there on the sign up screen. The ID of this component is email. Let's make use of that get text property in order to fetch the input the user is going to make over here in this email name field. Okay, and besides that, the user will use this photo button for uploading his photograph. So the image is going to, this platform is going to generate an URL for that photograph. So we guys can make use of this set image URL in order to get this uploaded photograph reflected over here on this image button which we have on this beautiful users panel. So the ID of this image button is image 4. Let's quickly replace this ID with image 4. And from where can we get the input of for this image 4 button? We can get it easily using this get image URL block from this photo component which we have on this sign up screen. Okay, fine, and let's make it more interactive by adding a play speech block to this uneven block. Hi user, welcome to your, we welcome you to your dashboard. So this is what the user is going to hear once he is done with hitting that sign up button. Okay, now let's come on this users panel. So how I have created this users panel, that's what I would like to tell you first. So there are there is one image which you are able to see over here. So in this image, a person is working on a desktop. Okay, and there is a table just below this person and he's sitting on a chair, right? How can you get this kind of image on Google Images? That's what I would like to help you guys with first. So what you can do, you can type over here men working on desktop. Okay, GIF animated clip art. So if you'll type something like this over here, you're going to come across some beautiful images like these. So this is the one which I am using at present. If you guys want, you guys can make use of this image. This is also very good image which you can make use of for giving this screen an appealing look, right? Then there are a couple of more images you're going to get over here with these keywords on Google Images, right? So there is an image button on which I have imported this image. Then right on the top of this image I have placed this email named component. Okay, then below this image I have placed one more image button on which you are able to see this make an appointment kind of thing getting reflected. Now how can you get this thing on Google Images? Let's check it out. So you just have to type in make an appointment. Fine, and let's see what are we going to get. So these are some beautiful things you're going to get. So if you guys want, you can go for this one also. Okay, or else you can type clip art, and I think this is going to give you some more good options. Yes, so this is also a very good option you guys can go for. Then this is also a very good option you can make use of, schedule an appointment, right? Fine, so that's how you can get this kind of image. Then there is one image button which I have used over here, on which this doctor's GIF animated GIF animated image is getting reflected. Just next to this doctor's image we have two label boxes, right? Now I don't want that when the user will come on this screen for the first time, these three components should be visible to him. So how can I do this thing? Let's define hide element block for all these three components over here. So the ID of this component is image, it is I think image 12. Yes, it is image 12. Okay, let's place a semicolon, and I'm copying this whole line of code. Let's place it over here. Fine, now the ID of this label box is date, so I'm going to write down date over here. And what is the ID of this component? It is time. Okay, so this is now, these lines of code are now going to hide these three components, and the user will not be able to see any of these three when he will so just a second. Okay, so everything is working fine. So what he can do, this man over here, the user can hit this image 5 button, and automatically I would like a table to get created on the data browser connected to this application, where the email address of this user is going to get saved. So let's do that quickly. The ID of this component is image 5. I need to replace this with image 5, and then we guys can make use of this create records blocks. This we generally use for creating a table like structure on the data browser, and here I'm going to name this table as appointment. Now what is the uh, name of the column? What are the different columns I would like to define here inside this appointment named table? So there is only one thing that I would like to define, and that is the email address of the user. So we can write down get text over here, and let's make use of this ID, that is label 6, in which the email ID of the user is going to come, right? Okay, and once the user is done with hitting this image 5 button, so I would like the user to hear something from the background, something like this: you successfully placed your request. Okay, and the doctor will respond very soon. So this is what the user is going to hear in the background once he's done with hitting this make an appointment button. Right, let's now come on this screen 3. So now there are a couple of components which I have defined to make this screen more interactive and more appealing, look more appealing. Now the first component is this image button. Okay, so this is a simple GIF animated image which you can easily get from the Google Images, okay. So that's how you have to place it. And then there are some components which I've defined on this screen. So this is there are 3 drop downs, okay, and for every drop down I've already defined the options. So for the first drop down, so the first drop down is for the month part. Alright, so the doctor can select a month from this first drop down, and these are the various options which I have already defined in the options section of this drop down. Now let's come on this date named drop down. So these are the dates which the doctor is going to see when he will hit this drop down. Okay, and then there is this time name drop down, and these are some slots which I have mentioned over here, okay, in which the doctor can see the patient. Fine, so it is totally the doctor's call. If he want to make any changes, he can just access this panel and make the required changes in the options section of this drop down. Right, now I don't want this bird kind of thing which is visible to you guys right on the top of this screen 3 to be visible to the doctor, okay, when he will come on this screen. Besides that, I don't want this label box also to be visible to the doctor. So what I am going to do, I am going to define hide element block for both these two components, for both the components. Now the first one is sender and the second component is sender email. So I'm going to come on this design panel and let's copy this ID of this component from here, come back on this coding window and replace the sender with the ID of this label box. Right, so this is how you can hide these two components. Now, as soon as the user is done with hitting this appointment button, so automatically this table named appointment is going to get created. Now the user is working on one mobile device and the doctor is accessing this app on some other device. Now how he will get the notification about the request placed by this user in real time on his mobile device? For that we need to code now. So now because we want the doctor to get the notification in real time on his respective device, so that's the reason we guys are required to make use of this on record even block. Right, I'm going to place it over here right after this hide element block. Okay, now the ID of this table is appointment. Let's replace this my table with appointment. And what is the event which is taking place in this appointment named table? So the event that is taking place is create. A record is getting created in this appointment name table. So we need not to make any changes over here in this line of code. We just have to eliminate whatever is there in this if loop. And let's define the codes so that the doctor with which we can get the doctor receive a notification about this request placed by the user in real time on his device. So what we guys can do, see the email address of the user who is going to place the request for this appointment from the doctor, appointment of the doctor is going to get saved over here in this email named field inside this appointment name table. So in order to pull that email address, we guys can make use of this read records block. I'm going to place it inside this if loop like this. Now let's replace this my table with appointment. Okay, and right after this point where this for loop is ending, let's define a code with which we can you know get with which we can provide this doctor the rights to get the notification in real time. So what we are going to do, uh, so let's make use of this set text block. Where is that set text? Yeah, this is the one. I'm going to place it over here. Now I'm going to set the text of this sender email named field. So let's do that quickly. Now whoever has placed the request for the appointment, whoever has requested for the appointment, I would like his email ID to be visible to the doctor over here on his device. So for doing that, what we can do, we can make use of this code, records I minus 1 and then dot. So the name of the column in which the email ID is going to get saved is email. Okay, now the text of the sender email is going to become equal to the email address of the person who is requested for the doctor's appointment. Okay, besides that, because we have defined this hide element block for both these components right before this on record event, so now how can we make these two things visible to the doctor? That's what is the next question. So for doing that, what we can do, as soon as this code is done with setting the text for this component over here, I would like the doctor to see this sender named component as well as the component named sender email, right? So now the doctor will be able to receive a notification in real time on his panel, in which he will get to see this bird flying right on the top, and also the email address of the appointee, the person who is requested for the doctor's appointment, the email ID of the person who is requested for doctor's appointment, right? Okay, and besides that, let's make it more interactive by adding some sound, some speech over here. So, hi doc, you have an hi doc, you have a, what shall I write down over here? What shall I write over here? Hi doc, there is a patient who wants your appointment. So this is what the doctor is going to hear now. Fine. Now how the doctor can confirm the appointment and how he can schedule the meeting with that patient. That's what I would like to tell you now. So what the doctor can do, he can select the month from this first drop down, and he can select the date from this second drop down, and he can select the time from this third drop down, and after that he can hit this confirmed button. As soon as the doctor will hit this confirm button, I would like 4 things to get saved in a table like structure on the data browser connected to this app. So these are the 4 things: month, date, time, and the email ID of the appointee, of the person who is requested for the appointment. Okay, so the ID of this component is confirm, so let's replace it with confirm. Now because I would like a table to get created on the data browser, so for that we can make use of this create records block, and here I'm going to replace this my table with doctor, or we can say, let's make it confirmation or confirm. Fine, so a table with ID confirm is going to get created on the data browser, in which these 4 things are going to get saved. So the first thing is the email ID. So from where can I get the email address? I can get it from this component named sender email. Then the second thing is the month, right? So for getting the value for this month named field, I can make use of this month named drop down. Let's copy this whole thing and I am pasting it over here. Okay, so the things were not copied properly. I think now I will be able to do it. Yeah. Okay, and let's replace the second month with date. So not date, let it be dates. Okay, and here I'm going to make it date because the idea of this drop down is date, D is in small, and then time. Okay, so there are going to be 4 different columns in this confirm named table, and the value for this time named column we can get it from this drop down 4, or let's change the ID of this drop down to time. Yeah, this is better. Coming back on the coding section, and let's replace this month with time. Fine. And once the doctor is done with hitting the confirm button, I would like these two things to again go disappear. For doing that, we guys can make use of these two codes which we have defined just before the on record event block. We have defined for this appointment table, right? And I am placing it over here. Okay, so everything is perfectly fine till now. Okay, and besides that, the text of this sender email also should get nullified. So for doing that, we can just pass a null value for this text part of the sender email named component, right? I think we are done with defining the required code for this confirm button. Okay, hope everything is correct. Yes, everything is good to go. Let's now come on this screen too. Now once the doctor is done with uh, creating this confirm named table on the data browser connected to this app, I would like this user to get a notification on his device, or you can say on his panel in real time. Okay, and in that notification I would like the user to see this doctor's image on his panel. It should be visible to the user, getting reflected on this panel. Okay, and besides that, right on the top, the date on which he can visit the doctor should be visible to him. Besides, the month and time should be visible to him, getting reflected over here in this second label box. So how can we code this thing? That's what we have to think about. Let's do one thing. Let's make use of on record event, because we would like this user to get a notification in real time on his device. So that's the reason we need to make use of this on record event block. And let's replace this my table with confirm. Why we have replaced this with confirm? Just because this is a table which is getting created, and in which all the required information is going to get saved. All right. Okay, now what is the event that is taking place in this confirm name table? So it is create type of event which is taking place in this confirm named table. So we need not to make any changes over here in the second line of code. Let's eliminate everything whatever is there in this inside this if loop. And over here I am going to write down, let's make use of this read records block, because we need to fetch the records from this confirm name table. So that this is the only option we have on this platform with which we can do it in real time. Okay, now the ID of this table is confirm. So okay, so this user, I would like him to receive the information which is related to him. Okay, so we need to put a check on this email ID because this is the one which is acting as a primary key right now. So how can we do that? We can write down email over here because there is a field named email which is going to get created in this confirm name table, in which the email ID of the appointee is going to get saved. Fine, so we can match it with this label 6. Okay, label 6. Let me just copy it from the top and I am going to paste it over here. So it is label 6. Now let's eliminate everything whatever we have inside this for loop. And okay, now let's set the text for these two components over here. So the first thing I would like the user should see is the date doctor has suggested for the meeting. So from where can we get the date? We can get the date using this code from the confirm named table. Okay, and the name of the column is dates, right? Yeah, it is dates. Besides, let's copy this whole thing and I'm going to place it over here. Now the second label box, the ID of this label box is time. Let's replace it with time, and here I would like to see both the month as well as time in this second label box. So for doing that, what we can do, we can make use of the concatenation operator. So it is the month, and then there is time also, which I would like to see getting reflected over here. Fine. Or else what we can do, let's make it like this. Month is going to get reflected on the top over here, and date and time are going to get reflected together over here. Okay, and let's put some space in between these two things. Okay, fine. And now we would like these three components to be visible to the user. For doing the same, we can copy these three lines of code. Okay, and we can place them. Where shall we place them? Now this is the question. So we can place them just after the point where this for loop is ending. Great. And here we just have to replace this hide with show, because we want to show these three elements to the user, right? Okay, we are done with this, and let's now make it more interactive by adding a sound to this on record event block. So where is that play speech block? I am looking for that. Yes, this is the one. I am placing it over here. Now I would like something like this to the user to hear. Hi user, you may visit, or doctor just confirmed your appointment. So this is what the user is going to hear in the background. Now let's see whether this app is going to give us the right output or not. So what we can do, we can hit the share button and let's check it out with the help of this link. So I'm going to run it on two different browsers, of course. This is going to be the first one. Okay. So on this, you have to assume as if these are two different devices, and on this one I'm going to access the doctor's panel, and on this second one I am going to access the user's panel. it's taking a bit of time, but we'll be able to see the screen soon on both these devices. Yes, now they are visible to us. Let's now access the doctor's panel. So we just have to hit this doctor's image over here.
Hi Doc. Hope you are doing good.
Okay, so
Welcome to the admin panel.
everything is working perfectly fine. And the two things for which we define that hide element component are not visible to us, as you can see. Right, now let's create a profile quickly on this platform. So I'm done with hitting this photo select button. Now it is going to redirect me on one of the locations which is there present on my device. Let's see to which location it is going to redirect me. I think it is going to go on the desktop. Yes, so I am on the desktop and I am going to select this image, and here I am going to write down an email address. So for now I am going to I'm making use of this email ID, and this is a password with which I am going to create the profile. Let's hit this login button and see what's going to happen.
Hi user. We welcome you to your dashboard.
Perfectly fine. So as you can see, the ID with which I registered this profile is visible to us over here, and the photograph which I uploaded is also visible to us over here on this desktop. Right, now let's make an appointment. So we just have to hit this make an appointment button. Let's see whether this doctor will be able to receive a notification on his respective device in real time or not.
You successfully placed your request. Hi Doc. The doctor will respond very soon. There is a patient who wants your appointment.
That is incredible.
Hi Doc.
Right?
There is a patient who wants your appointment.
See, the doctor received a notification in real time on his device. Alright, now let's select a month from here. So I would like this patient to come to visit the doctor on, okay, let's select this April and then 12, and here I am going to allot a time slot meetings. I'm going to let's select this one. Now let's hit this confirm button and see what's going to happen.
Hi user. Doctor just confirmed your appointment.
Excellent. Okay, so this user received a notification in real time on his device, and as you can see, the name of the month, the date, and the time slot, all the things are visible to this user over here on her respective panel. Right, now I am going to refresh this screen and let's create one more profile. Let's see whether this app that we have developed in this Applab is going to work for multiple patients or not. I'm going to let's upload one more profile. So let's hit this photo select button first for uploading a relevant pic. Okay, this time I am going with this photo because I don't have any other photograph with me, and I'm selecting this ID and this password. Let's hit this login button and see what is going to happen.
Hi user. We welcome you to your dashboard.
Okay, so I'm able to see the uploaded photograph getting reflected over here, and the ID is also visible to us over here on this users panel. Let's hit this appointment button and see whether this doctor will be able to receive the appointment in real time or not.
You successfully placed your request. Hi Doc. The doctor will respond very soon. There is a patient who wants your appointment.
That is
Hi
incredible.
Doc.
Again, okay.
There is a patient who wants your appointment.
This doctor received this appointment in real time on his device. Let's give him a time slot of okay, let's select this one, and I'm hitting this confirm button now.
Hi user. Doctor just confirmed your appointment. Doctor just confirmed your appointment.
So this is how you can develop a real-time doctor's appointment app. Right, now I would like you guys to see the tables that are there on this data browser. So there are two tables which I've got created. One is with name appointment, and in this I am able to see both the IDs with which I created the two profiles, and then there is one more table with name confirm, and here these are the things which are getting reflected, right? So that's how you can code this real-time application. Hope you guys enjoyed this lecture a lot. If you have any issue in anything, you guys are most welcome to ask me the same now. Get your queries sorted out. Thank you very much, Pooja Shiv, for this compliment. Who else is there? Purnima Goyal. So please, this project link, dear, see, if I will share the projects link, then why will you make these apps? If I will share the links of all my projects, then why will you make these projects? Think about it. I am telling you the whole concept. I am telling you all the steps you can follow and create these beautiful applications on your own. Now you want me to give the links of this apps to you. Now if you really want to become the coder, you have to develop them on your own. Links are not going to help you at all. That is the reason I don't share links with you guys. Everything, right from the whether it is related to the designing part or it is related to the coding part, I am explaining everything in every single video. So I don't think that the links are necessary. If you really want to become a coder, I don't think that you should ask for links of these apps from me. Really sorry to say this. No problem, Varun. You can check out this lecture afterwards whenever you are free, dear. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Rayan, for this compliment here. Hello, Tech Ninja. Then there is Atharv. Hi, dear. Let's art and craft. Okay, hi, dear. Somil Das. Hi, beta. Okay, so just try out this app on your own. Fine. And in case you come across any issue, you can reach me through the comment section. Just put your queries in the comment section. Definitely I'm going to respond to all your queries whenever I will get the time to do the same. Thank you very much for being a part of this lecture, and thank you very much for attending this lecture. Have a great day. Bye bye.